Old Hollywood was glamorous, dazzling, and filled with stars who seemed larger than life. But behind the glittering lights and red carpets, darkness often lurked. Many beloved celebrities met untimely, shocking, or mysterious ends, leaving fans and historians puzzled for decades. Their deaths, often sudden and unexplained, led to autopsies that revealed haunting details, strange circumstances, and questions that remain unanswered even today. From actors who died at the height of their fame to those whose personal struggles ended tragically, the world of old Hollywood hides secrets that are as chilling as they are fascinating. In this video, we dive deep into the autopsy reports of 15 legendary stars, uncovering eerie truths, unexpected findings, and the mysteries surrounding their final moments. Prepare to be shocked, intrigued, and captivated as we reveal the darker side of the golden age of cinema, where glamour and tragedy were inseparably intertwined. Actor 1. Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe, the iconic blonde bombshell of the 1950s, captivated the world with her charm, beauty, and unforgettable performances. But behind her dazzling smile, Marilyn struggled with deep personal demons. Her sudden death shocked the world and sparked endless speculation. At just 36, she was found unresponsive in her Los Angeles home, and the autopsy revealed acute barbiturate poisoning. While officially ruled a probable suicide, whispers of foul play and mysterious circumstances surrounded her passing. Friends and colleagues described her as fragile yet fiercely ambitious, navigating a world that often exploited her fame. Documents from the time reveal the struggles she faced with mental health, relationships, and the pressures of Hollywood stardom. Her death remains one of the most discussed and analyzed in cinematic history, a haunting reminder that fame can mask deep personal pain. Even today, fans continue to debate the truth behind her final hours, making Marilyn Monroe's story both legendary and tragically enigmatic. Actor 2. James Dean. James Dean, the rebellious heartthrob of the 1950s, became a symbol of youth, angst, and raw talent. His intense performances in films like Rebel Without a Cause and East of Eden cemented his legendary status, but his life was tragically cut short. On September 30th, 1955, Dean was involved in a high-speed car crash while driving his Porsche 550 Spider. The autopsy report revealed multiple severe injuries, including fractures and internal trauma, making his death instantaneous. Dean's untimely demise at just 24 stunned the world, leaving fans and Hollywood in mourning. His passing fueled rumors and legends about curses, speed obsession, and the fleeting nature of fame. Despite his short career, James Dean's influence on cinema and popular culture remains unmatched, his death immortalizing him as a timeless symbol of brilliance and tragedy. The mystery and intensity surrounding his final moments continue to fascinate generations, keeping his legend alive decades after the crash. Actor 3. Judy Garland. Judy Garland, the beloved star of The Wizard of Oz, enchanted audiences with her extraordinary voice and magnetic presence. Yet behind the glittering performances, Judy faced a lifetime of personal struggles. Her battles with addiction, stress, and the relentless pressures of Hollywood took a heavy toll. On June 22, 1969, she was found dead in her London home at just 47 years old. The autopsy revealed an overdose of barbiturates, highlighting years of dependency and the impact of a demanding career on her mental and physical health. Garland's death shocked fans worldwide, as she had long been adored as a symbol of joy and talent. Her story is a haunting reminder of the hidden struggles that often accompany fame. Despite her tragic end, Judy Garland's legacy endures, her performances continuing to captivate generations, while the circumstances of her passing remain a poignant chapter in Hollywood history. Actor 4. Jean Harlow. Jean Harlow, known as the original blonde bombshell of the 1930s, captivated audiences with her charm, wit, and unforgettable screen presence. She became one of Hollywood's first major sex symbols, starring in films that defined an era. But behind the glamour, Harlow faced health challenges that remained largely private. On June 7, 1937, at just 26 years old, she suddenly passed away, shocking fans and colleagues alike. The autopsy revealed acute kidney failure, caused by complications from undiagnosed and untreated medical conditions. Her sudden death highlighted the fragility of life behind Hollywood's glittering facade, and it sent shockwaves through the film industry. Friends and co-stars recalled her as vibrant and full of life, making her passing all the more tragic. Jean Harlow's early demise cemented her status as an immortal icon, her films and legend living on as a testament to both her talent and the fleeting nature of fame. Actor 5. Clara Bow. Clara Bow, famously known as the it girl of the 1920s, became the face of flapper culture and the embodiment of youthful exuberance. Her charisma and daring style made her one of Hollywood's first major sex symbols, and she dominated silent films with unmatched charm. However, behind her radiant smile, Clara battled mental health struggles, anxiety, and the intense pressures of fame. On September 27, 1965, she passed away at the age of 60. While not sudden in the same way as some of her peers, her death marked the quiet end of a life once lived in the glaring spotlight. Autopsy and medical reports indicated complications related to long-term health issues, reflecting a lifetime of both personal and professional challenges. Clara Bow's story is a haunting reminder of how early fame can take its toll. Though she left the public eye decades before her death, her legend endures, symbolizing both the glamour and the hidden struggles of Hollywood's golden age. 6. Elizabeth Short. Elizabeth Short, infamously known as the Black Dahlia, became one of Hollywood's most haunting mysteries. While not a traditional film star, her story is entwined with old Hollywood's dark underbelly. In January 1947, her body was discovered in Los Angeles under shocking and mysterious circumstances, sparking nationwide headlines. The autopsy revealed severe trauma, and her death was officially ruled a homicide, though the case remains unsolved to this day. Elizabeth's tragic fate became a symbol of the dangers lurking behind Hollywood's glamorous facade. Her life, filled with ambition and dreams of stardom, ended abruptly, leaving questions that have fascinated investigators, writers, and the public for decades. The haunting details of her final hours and the subsequent investigation immortalized Elizabeth Short in the annals of Hollywood history, turning her into a legend of mystery, tragedy, and enduring intrigue. Actor 7. George Reeves. George Reeves, best known for his role as Superman in the 1950s television series, was beloved by audiences for bringing the iconic superhero to life. However, behind the cape and charm, Reeves struggled with personal challenges, including depression and the pressures of Hollywood typecasting. On June 16, 1959, he was found dead in his Los Angeles home from a gunshot wound. The autopsy confirmed the cause of death as a single gunshot, but controversy surrounds whether it was suicide or foul play, with theories and speculation persisting for decades. Reeves' untimely death at just 45 stunned fans and left a lasting mark on Hollywood history. Colleagues recalled him as talented yet sensitive, navigating a world that often demanded more than it gave. The mystery surrounding his final moments, combined with his status as a cultural icon, has made George Reeves' story one of the most enduring and chilling tales from old Hollywood. Actor 8. Carole Lombard. Carole Lombard, one of Hollywood's brightest stars of the 1930s, was celebrated for her sharp wit, flawless comedic timing, and electric screen presence. Audiences adored her, and colleagues admired her fearless work ethic. But in January 1942, Hollywood was shaken by a tragedy that felt almost unreal. Lombard was returning from a successful war bond fundraising tour when her plane crashed into a mountainside in Nevada, leaving no survivors. The autopsy and investigative reports confirmed that the impact caused instantaneous death for everyone on board, offering clarity but little comfort to a nation already gripped by wartime anxiety. Carole's passing at just 33 was a devastating blow, especially to fans who had watched her rise from silent films to become one of the most beloved actresses of her generation. Her story became a symbol of dedication and sacrifice, as she had insisted on traveling quickly to continue supporting her country's efforts. Even today, the site of the crash stands as a quiet memorial to a star whose light was extinguished far too soon, yet whose legacy continues to shine brightly through her timeless films and enduring influence on Hollywood history. Actor 9. Montgomery Clift. Montgomery Clift, old Hollywood Kawa actor the Jisa Log, the soulful star Kate the. His intense acting style, emotional depth, and vulnerable on-screen presence reshaped Hollywood's leading man image forever. But behind his quiet charm, Clift lived a life filled with struggles, pressure, and personal battles he rarely spoke about. In 1956, a near-fatal car accident changed the direction of his life and career, leaving him with long-term health complications that he worked tirelessly to overcome. Despite constant pain and emotional strain, he continued delivering powerful performances, earning admiration across the industry. On July 23, 1966, Montgomery Clift passed away at the age of 45. The official autopsy reported natural causes, linked to long-term health issues that had slowly worn him down over the years. His passing shocked fans who saw him as a brilliant, quiet force, someone who transformed every role into something unforgettable. Clift's life became a symbol of extraordinary talent overshadowed by immense personal pressure, and his death marked the end of an era defined by raw, genuine acting. Today, he is remembered not for how he died, but for the groundbreaking work he left behind, the emotions he brought to the screen, and the legacy that continues to influence modern actors around the world. Actor 10. Sharon Tate. Sharon Tate was one of the brightest rising stars of the 1960s, an actress whose beauty, talent, and gentle personality made her unforgettable both on and off the screen. She was on the edge of major stardom, admired for her roles in Valley of the Dolls and her effortless charm that captivated audiences worldwide. But her life took a tragic turn when she became the victim of a horrific crime in 1969, shaking Hollywood to its core. At just 26 years old and weeks away from becoming a mother, Tate's death became one of the most shocking moments in entertainment history. The autopsy report and official records confirmed the cause of her death and documented the brutality of the incident. But the public remembers her not for those dark details, rather for the immense promise she carried and the bright future that was stolen from her. Sharon Tate's passing triggered massive media coverage and led to widespread fear, dramatically changing the way Hollywood viewed security and personal safety. Her heartbreaking story also sparked deeper conversations about fame, vulnerability, and the unpredictable dangers lurking beyond the spotlight. Decades later, Sharon Tate is remembered as more than a tragedy. She is honored as a cherished actress, a loving friend, and a symbol of lost potential. Her legacy lives through her films, her family's tireless efforts to preserve her memory, and the lasting impact her story had on Hollywood and the world. Actor 11. Tyrone Power. Tyrone Power, one of old Hollywood's most magnetic leading men, was known for his striking looks, commanding presence, and unforgettable performances in classics like The Mark of Zorro and Blood and Sand. Audiences adored his blend of elegance and intensity, and studios saw him as a superstar who could carry any film with ease. But despite his cinematic success, Power constantly pushed himself, physically and emotionally, to meet the demands of his career. On November 15, 1958, at just 44 years old, Tyrone Power collapsed while filming a demanding scene for the movie Solomon and Sheba. Despite immediate medical attention, he passed away shortly after. The autopsy confirmed that he died from a heart attack brought on by extreme exhaustion and underlying health strain. His sudden death left colleagues stunned, as many recalled how tirelessly he worked and how often he ignored signs of fatigue in pursuit of perfection. Power's passing became a wake-up call for the industry, highlighting the intense pressure placed on actors during Hollywood's golden age. He was remembered by friends as kind, disciplined, and deeply committed to his craft, someone who gave everything to the roles he played. Even decades later, Tyrone Power's legacy continues to shine through his films, inspiring actors and filmmakers who admire the depth and dedication he brought to every performance. His sudden loss remains one of Hollywood's most poignant reminders of how even its brightest stars can fade too soon. Actor 12. Natalie Wood. Natalie Wood was one of Hollywood's most beloved actresses, an extraordinary talent who grew up on screen and became a symbol of grace, emotion, and timeless beauty. From Miracle on 34th Street to West Side Story, she captured hearts with performances full of depth and vulnerability. But behind her success, Natalie struggled with fears, pressure, and the emotional weight of fame that followed her from childhood into adulthood. On November 29, 1981, her life took a tragic and sudden turn. While spending a weekend on a boat near Catalina Island, Natalie was discovered in the water after she had gone missing overnight. The autopsy and investigative reports confirmed that she had drowned, but the exact circumstances surrounding her final moments remained shrouded in uncertainty. Conflicting accounts from those present and unanswered questions led to decades of speculation, making her case one of Hollywood's most enduring mysteries. Despite the confusion and theories that emerged, Natalie Wood is remembered not for the unanswered questions, but for the remarkable talent she brought to the screen. Friends described her as warm, sensitive, and full of passion for her craft. Her fans still celebrate her legacy through her unforgettable performances and the emotional honesty she brought to every role. Natalie's passing became a moment that changed how Hollywood viewed safety, privacy, and the pressures faced by its stars. Today, she remains a symbol of brilliance touched by mystery, an actress whose life continues to inspire admiration, respect, and fascination around the world. Actor 13. John Garfield. John Garfield, one of the most compelling actors of the 1940s, earned fame for his raw, natural style of acting, something far ahead of its time. His performances in films like Body and Soul and The Postman Always Rings Twice made him a standout figure during Hollywood's golden age. Garfield had an intensity that felt real, a talent that didn't rely on glamour but on powerful emotion. Audiences connected to his authenticity, and critics praised him as a groundbreaking performer. Yet, behind his rising success, Garfield faced immense pressure from the studio system, political scrutiny, and personal stress that grew heavier with each passing year. By the early 1950s, he found himself caught in the turmoil of the Red Scare. Unproven accusations damaged his reputation and limited his opportunities, creating emotional strain that affected both his career and health. On May 21, 1952, at the age of just 39, John Garfield passed away. The autopsy confirmed that he died from a heart attack brought on by long-term stress and physical exhaustion. His sudden death shocked Hollywood, especially because he was still young and full of potential. Friends remembered him as passionate and driven, someone who put everything into his craft, even when the world around him became overwhelming. Garfield's passing became a symbol of how external pressures can weigh heavily on even the strongest talents. His legacy, however, has only grown with time. Today he is recognized as a pioneer of method-style acting, an artist who opened the door for future generations to perform with honesty and emotional depth. John Garfield's story remains a reminder of the challenges hidden behind fame and the lasting power of a true performer whose work continues to inspire. Actor 14. Errol Flynn. Errol Flynn, the legendary swashbuckling hero of The Adventures of Robin Hood, was one of the most electrifying stars of old Hollywood. With his daring stunts, effortless charm, and mischievous grin, he dominated the silver screen throughout the 1930s and 40s. Audiences adored him as the fearless romantic lead, but Flynn's real life was far more complex than the characters he played. Behind the glamour, he lived a whirlwind lifestyle filled with constant travel, demanding shoots, and personal habits that placed heavy strain on his health. By the late 1950s, Flynn's fast-paced way of living had begun to take a visible toll, though he often hid his declining health behind humor and confidence. On October 14, 1959, while visiting friends in Vancouver, Flynn suddenly fell severely ill. Despite efforts to help him, he passed away shortly afterward at the age of 50. The autopsy revealed that he died from a heart attack, along with several underlying health issues that had quietly built up over the years. His sudden death shocked fans around the world, who still saw him as the adventurous hero capable of surviving anything. Colleagues described Flynn as charismatic, witty, and full of life, someone who brought excitement wherever he went. Yet his story also became a reminder of how fame and constant public attention can push stars beyond their limits. Even today, Errol Flynn's legacy stands strong. His iconic roles, daring performances, and unforgettable screen presence continue to inspire actors and filmmakers. He remains a symbol of Hollywood's golden age, brilliant, bold, and larger than life, even in the face of a fate that arrived far too soon. Actor 15. Rudolph Valentino. Rudolph Valentino, the original Latin lover of the silent film era, was one of Hollywood's first global superstars. His intense gaze, graceful movements, and romantic screen persona made him a phenomenon unlike anything audiences had ever seen. Films like The Sheik and Blood and Sand turned him into a cultural icon, inspiring fashion trends, fan clubs, and worldwide admiration. But behind the fame, Valentino lived under immense pressure, balancing a demanding work schedule, personal controversies, and the expectations of millions who saw him as the ultimate romantic hero. In August 1926, at the height of his stardom, Valentino suddenly fell ill during a promotional tour in New York. Doctors diagnosed him with complications from a burst ulcer, a condition far more serious than it initially seemed. Despite medical efforts, his condition worsened rapidly, and on August 23, 1926, he passed away at just 31 years old. The autopsy confirmed that he died from severe infection and internal complications, a shocking revelation for fans who believed their beloved star was invincible. Valentino's death sparked an unprecedented outpouring of grief. Thousands flooded the streets during his funeral procession, and theaters across the country dimmed their lights in tribute. His passing marked one of the earliest moments when Hollywood realized the emotional power and vulnerability of its stars. Even decades later, Rudolph Valentino remains a symbol of classic romance, cinematic evolution, and the fragility hidden behind celebrity glamour. His legacy lives on in silent film history, in the archetype of the romantic leading man he helped create, and in the memory of a star whose brilliance burned intensely, but far too briefly.